Most men don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because there's no structure. They work hard all day, answer emails at midnight, fix everyone else's problems, and then somehow expect a random workout and a protein bar to undo years of stress and bad sleep. That's not discipline, that's just optimism. And eventually, the mirror, the scale, or the fact that your jeans and your pants are negotiating with you more every morning catches up. This is why I built the OxFit coaching program for men. It's not random workouts that I found on Instagram or a diet that ends the second the pizza enters the room. It's really simple and it's a sustainable system, training, nutrition, and accountability designed to fit into a real adult life. You don't need more motivation. You don't need a new supplement. And you don't need another 30-day shred that leaves you exhausted and angry. You need a plan, you need standards, and you need someone who won't let you disappear when your life gets busy. The OxFit coaching helps you rebuild strength, confidence, and discipline, not just in the gym, but in how you show up everywhere else too. You're gonna train like a man with a plan, not a man hoping this time it sticks. And at Ox.fit, let's get started today. You work too hard to not look and feel at your best. These are the top 5 essential supplements to elevate your game and conquer all your goals in 2026. In an ideal world, you'd have time to cook every meal from scratch. You'd only eat grass-fed and organic, locally sourced ingredients. Then there'd be a chance that you wouldn't need any of the supplements that I'm going to talk today. However, if you don't live in the rainforests of Costa Rica, you're not mega rich, and you've got a job, then this video is for you. I'm going to give you the top 5 daily supplements, but I'm also going to give you the easiest ways to take them, the ones that taste the best, and I'm going to help you create a daily supplement routine so they don't just sit in your closet and you're just peeing all your money away every week. So, do you want to know what daily supplements separates your average Joe from all these super alpha strong guys that you see? Well, the obvious answer that we're all expecting is human growth hormone, HGH. Take it once a day, no problem. All right, clearly I'm joking. As you can see, I'm not a massive juice head. So why should you listen to me? Well, chances are you're not that too. You're just like me. I'm a husband, a father, a business owner, and I didn't hit the genetic lottery. I don't want to be on testosterone and steroids for the rest of my life. Maybe later in my life, I'll start taking that. But right now, I want to know how naturally I can just feel amazing, right? Also, I'm not sponsored by, and I don't have any collaborations with any of these supplement companies. So what I'm telling you is just what's worked for me. So let's start off with the number 1 supplement. We're going to rebrand it a little bit, okay? So you guys have to come up with a good name because I think it's struggling in terms of branding. So the Big D, Sunshine Power Pills, Solar Power Punch, Sun God, Mega D, D-Force. What about Dominator D? I like that one. Crush the darkness within. So this is it, vitamin D. I used to get so frustrated working out 2 hours a day, eating pretty good, and still not having a six-pack. But what I've realized working with hundreds of clients on their nutrition, the food industry is poisoning us, right? So go to any pool, look around. All the dudes look kind of pregnant. They don't have pecs. They've got like man boobs. And while someone in the food industry finds this funny, I don't think it's very funny. What is also not funny is over the last 5 years, the pandemic's accelerated our vitamin D deficiency. We spend so much time looking at screens now, eating crap. For adults, it's not easy to see your nutrient deficiency, but we are seeing a rise in like Victorian era diseases returning in children. Scabies, rickets, and scurvy. That's the shit that people were getting on the Santa Maria and when Columbus was sailing the ocean, right? That's crazy that that's happening. So if this is showing up in children, it's also in adults. But because our bones are developed, we're not seeing the effects. Everyone in your family should be taking Dominator D or vitamin D as a supplement. You need vitamin D so your body can use calcium and phosphorus to build bones and support healthy tissues. You need vitamin D, right? Something also that's very interesting, I just saw studies come out that we've been told we need 600. The recommended daily allowance is 600. I never remember what IUs mean, but whatever an IU is, right? It just came out that's 8 times lower than what it should be. And to me, that's crazy. That seems intentional, right? So like I've been taking one of these a day because it says I only need one, and that would be 5,000 IUs. But really, I can take 2, right? So I'm going to take 2 of these every day. And I think you should check yourself to see what you should be taking, because especially if you're listening in America, if you're listening in Georgia, it's going to be cloudy. If you're listening in England, you should definitely be taking one because it's always like that. But we all should be taking a vitamin D. And I know it's not super exciting, but whatever you're taking, double it. Whatever you are taking, double it. So that's exciting. The best way to take vitamin D, I think it's D3 and K2, but you could also argue maybe it's some kind of cod liver oil. I struggle to take that. But there's also different fish oils you can take that also help you get the fatty acids. But for me, D3 and K2 has been the best one. So you didn't come here just to hear about vitamin D, even though it's essential. You want to know how to get swole. Well, some people mentioned it before we started, but there's only one way to get swole and one supplement that you need for that. And you might find it quite boring again, but good old whey protein, right? Do you need to supplement with whey protein? No. Okay, moving on. Creatine. All right, but seriously, most people are under eating protein. And if you want to get stronger, build more muscle, you need 1 pound of protein per pound of body weight. Super simple, right? You probably take more than that, but let's just start off there. Without protein, there is no muscle growth. Next thing I'm going to say, with so many options of whey protein, which one is the best, right? And that is, you go into all these supplement stores, there's just lines and lines of protein. Which one is the best? Well, just like vitamin D, obviously, the most natural is ideal. So for me, that comes from cows or from concentrate, especially if you're using a shake as a meal replacement. However, post-workout, an isolate has been shown to signal protein faster, right? So this is just your whey that you should take as a meal replacement. This is what you would probably want to take, an isolate. You can't handle the lactose in whey. I would recommend carnivore beef isolate. And if you're vegan, you need some vegan options, go to eatdirt.com, and I'm sure they'll be able to provide you with some solutions over there. Okay, so whey protein. Now let's talk about the best supplement, creatine. Everyone, I repeat, everyone should be supplementing with creatine, especially you eatdirt.com subscribers, right? In order to get 5 grams of creatine, which I would say is the minimum per day, you would need to eat 32 ounces of steak per day. Sounds like an awesome challenge. Something Caitlin does every day. But you can get that same amount from a couple of these capsules or right here. What is the best creatine for you? The marketing gurus, they want your money. They've introduced some fancy sounding creatines like this one. But you just end up spending more money and potentially getting an inferior product, right? So you can argue, is crealkaline better than creatine monohydrate? I don't know. But people used to cycle on and off creatine. They also used to load up on creatine. But the more it's been researched, it should just be taken as a daily supplement, right? Just put it in a daily supplement, however you need to take it, pills, or throw it in your protein shake, right? Whatever, just find a way to get it in there. You're ready to say hello to a new era of vitality. This next supplement will help you reclaim your energy, strength, and confidence like never before. And it is a pre-workout. I don't have this with me, but the perfect pre-workout is some kind of nitric oxide, some kind of beta alanine, and some kind of caffeine. I like to think of pre-workout like a morning coffee. Is it essential? No. Is it necessary to crush the morning? Probably some form of caffeine will help. You don't have to take a pre-workout, but it can help your workouts go to another level, especially if you have a busy life, which most people listening to this would say they have a busy life. You could just down a coffee, but for me, it doesn't have the same effect as a pre-workout. Even if some of that effect is placebo, you got to keep in mind that the only drug that has ever worked 100% of the time in studies is the placebo effect. So I used to take a pre-workout that had all kinds of stuff in. I like nitric oxide. It gives me a pump. I like beta alanine to feel itchy and tingly, but also it gets my juices flowing. And then caffeine to get me focused and fire me up, right? I have started mixing that up, right? So I used to get a little bit hooked on the energy drinks because they were a simple way to take in caffeine, pre-workout, all that stuff was all mixed in. Now I just do creatine and beta alanine, right? I just mix these together. This tastes great, so it replaces that energy drink thing I was kind of fixated on. And then this beta alanine gets me feeling all itchy and makes me feel like I'm ready to work out. So I'm going to find another way in the new year to add in some nitric oxide just to get that like extra pump and get me going. But right now, that's just been working really well. But anything over that, I think is a little bit of overkill. And it's just the marketing people capturing you again. Them three, I think, are the most studied. And I think they've had the biggest effect as a pre-workout. They're my favorites. The last thing is you want to find out how Big Soda tricked you into taking a Coke and a Pepsi to the gym every day. You're like, I don't take no Coke and Pepsi to the gym every day. But if you take a Powerade or a Gatorade, or if you're listening to this overseas, a Lucozade to the gym, you are taking a Coke or a Pepsi into the gym every day with you, and you just don't need to do it. You're not going to get what you need. During the workout, you want some electrolytes and maybe some essential amino acids, right? If you know me, I think water sucks. Sorry, Earth. I'm sorry, Greta. But most of the developed world has come up with way better drinks than tap water, right? The fitness gurus will tell you to put some Himalayan sea salt in your water. Have you ever accidentally swallowed ocean water? Yeah, that's not a good drink to take to the gym, right? During workouts, I used to drink BCAAs because I like to have this awesome blue drink that I could sip on. Looked cool. It was delicious. And then I would drink coconut water as my electrolyte because I wanted everyone to know that I was like a super CrossFitter. But then I eventually realized coconut water tastes like, I don't even want to say, and the price goes up every 3 days. So I've traded that for what is now used to be BCAAs is essential amino acids and simple electrolyte Nuun. Why? Again, same story. The food ingredient just doesn't cut it, right? You could probably get all your essential amino acids if you could eat a ton of steak, but you're not going to get all your essential amino acids from dirt and from beetroot. So maybe you add some of this in. Okay? So I'm not going to tell you. I was going to tell you what all the essential amino acids are here. Let's have a look. L-theanine, L-phenylalanine, L-lysine, L-methionine, L-hirsutisine, L-tryptophan, L-leucine. Got that one, L-leucine. That's a good one. L-isoleucine and L-velophelinine, right? So that's got all your L-serotonins in there. So Why would you not take it? Look at all them L-sartanines. And if you don't want L-sartanine, then don't take it. But you're probably not going to get it from your food. And it gives you something to sip on rather than that horrible, horrible stuff that does nothing for you, called Powerade, Gatorade, Lucozade, anything with aid. Don't need it. Throw one of them in your water, a little bit of salt. How much salt's in this? There's no sugar in it. There's no fake sugar in it. I was joking about beetroot juice. It does have beet juice in it. Potassium. Get it in there. All right, so where are we at? Pretty much my top 5. Anything I want to finally wrap it up with? Well, I suppose the easiest way, right? You've probably seen your grandma and granddad with something like this, right? With all their pills in it. And I'm not just an old man, not yet anyway, but either you're going to be putting medications in here or you're going to be putting supplements in here. And I think this is the best way to get all your supplements. Fill them up. Don't forget to take them. It's pretty easy. Like most of the ones I showed, you're going to drink, but also you can get them, all these things in pill form. Please like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed my review of the top 5 essential supplements for men and women. Everybody should be taking these. And that's a wrap on the top 5 supplements.